Party people, welcome once again to the Party of One podcast, the actual play RPG podcast where the gaming table is always set for two. I'm your host as always, Jeff Stormer, and this week on the show, I'm joined by Cate Osborn for a game of Hunter Hunted. Cate is an ADHD educator and advocate, Kinkster Shakespeare nerd, host of Sorry I Missed This, the everything guide to ADHD and relationships, one of the GMs at the upcoming Danube of the Damned, a gaming cruise that is going up the Danube River and ending with vampire-themed games at Dracula's Castle. And also on top of all that, she's got a book coming out this March, the ADHD Field Guide for Adult. She talks about all of this on the episode, and frankly does a better job of pitching it than I'm going to. You can find more information about everything that Cate's got going on at Catieosaurus.com, or check the show notes for more information. Hunter Hunted is a game by dear friends of the show Dylan Appelian and Megan Cross. It is a two-player game of pursuit, determination, and what it truly means to be a monster. One player is the hunter, the pursuer, driven and steadfast in their pursuit to track and slay their quarry. The other, the monster, the pursued, alienated, feared, hated by those who have crossed their path, and determined to survive by any means necessary. Will you kill your opponent, find common ground, flee? That is for the victor to decide. I love this game. I had a blast playing it. This was really special. You can find more information about Hunter Hunted in the show notes. And with all that said, let's go ahead and throw it over to me in the past so that he can get started with the show. Take it past me. Thanks, future me. I am absolutely stoked. I'm sitting down with Cate Osborn. Cate, thanks so much for coming on Party of One.
Hello, thanks for having me. I've been secretly, this was one of my bucket lists. This is one of my I really wanted to be on your show. And then you asked me and I was really, really happy. So thanks for fulfilling my dreams today.
Here's the thing. You would think eventually you would get used to hearing that, but I haven't yet. And so we'll cross that bridge when we get to it.
Yes, bask in it.
I have to push forward or else I'm going to completely lose my ability to run the show. I'm so excited for this episode. I think this is going to be a blast. I'm so excited about the game that we're about to play. But before we get into that, why don't you take a moment and let our lovely listeners at home know about anything you've got going on that you want them to know about?
Oh, man. Hello, dear lovely listeners. My name's Cate. I go by Catieosaurus online. I've got a ton of stuff going on right now. I have a book coming out. That's probably the biggest thing. I have a book coming out in March. It's called the ADHD Field Guide for Adults. And I'm really, really proud of it. And I don't get to talk a lot about what it is. But the thing that I'm really stoked about is that we specifically designed it to be accessible for neurodivergent brains, which if you kind of know what I am about and the work that I do, that's super important to me is making things accessible and as inclusive as possible. So that's coming out. It's available for pre-order. I literally just signed the contract to record the audiobook. So there's also going to be an audiobook available that you can also pre-order. I have a podcast. It's called Sorry I Missed This, where I talk about ADHD and its impact on relationships, intimacy, communication, sometimes even sex. I have a newsletter you can sign up for. It's if you go to Catieosaurus.com, you can sign up there. That will let you know all of the good stuff that's going on with my content and my long form content and my spicy content and also my book tour and my show tour because I'm going on tour. Jeff, that's crazy. And not that anybody asked, but TBS did hire me back to do their Christmas promos again. So if you watch TBS, I'll be in the commercials during Christmas time. That's not an important thing to mention, but I'm just really proud of it.
It's important to me as an avid lover of Christmas everything. It's extremely important to me specifically.
Yeah. Do you ever watch the TBS 24 Hours of Christmas?
I watch it I watch it. We do a lot of running around, or Jen and I are together on Christmas. Kind of, it's just our day for the two of us, and when we go to dinner, it's usually playing in the background. And when we go to the bar afterwards, it's playing in the background. It is, I think, essential, out and about Christmas watching. So we see it pretty consistently, in the back half of the day.
Oh, I love that for you. I was just gonna say I'm one of the Christmas cards that introduces the movie. That's my claim to fame on TBS.
That makes me so unbelievably happy. You legitimately have no idea how much my day has been made at this exact moment.
Yeah, I'm the drunk aunt Christmas card. That's me. So, hello.
I am stoked. I always say, I feel like I say this so often, and I say it very often because it never stops being true, the highlight of doing this podcast is kind of this exact moment where I get to say to cool people like, hey, what do you got going on? And then consistently a series of things is handed back to me that like I shake in my chair with excitement about, like, that's the coolest shit I've ever heard. God
I
damn
actually
it.
thought of one more that I was actually,
Please hit me.
I
Please hit me.
really should hit this because I feel like your audience, especially, I feel like y'all are gonna freak out when you hear this. So I am one of the DMs on Danube of the Damned. Have you heard about this yet?
No.
Okay, so Danube of the Dam is a private riverboat cruise that is being run by the people who are doing D3 at sea. But here's the thing, Jeff. Here's the thing. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be taking a private riverboat down the Danube, and then we're going to stop at Bran Castle, which is Dracula's castle, and they have rented it out for 48 hours. And so we are going to be playing Vampire the Masquerade for a full day at Dracula's castle, and then the next night we're having a masquerade ball. That's it. And you should go if you want to. You can go to their website and check it out for more information. But I'm one of the DMs. But that goes hard.
I wasn't ready. I really thought I was ready. Like at every step of the process, I thought I had emotionally readied myself for the next thing that you were going to say.
Yeah, Vampire the Masquerade at Dracula's castle, and then a Vampire Masquerade at Dracula's castle,
and a riverboat cruise.
I think it's like a 7-day. It's like a 7-day riverboat cruise, and it's going all through like all these like gorgeous European countries that I don't remember the whole list of. But yeah, it goes super hard. And everybody, we got a bunch like really cool DMs. Like B Dave Walters just signed, so I get to hang out with B Dave. But what's really funny is everybody's playing like serious vampire games, and I'm running like 7 Sherlock Holmeses, but one of them is a vampire.
Oh, that's great. I love that game so much. That's a joy.
A goblin. But anyway, that thusly ends all of the things that I needed to promote. That I feel like that took a really long time. I'm really sorry.
I truly do not apologize. You have consistently made my day in like 7 different ways of hearing about all of these things. I'm stoked. I'm also stoked for the game that we're playing today. It is a game that I love. It is made by 2 dear friends. We are playing Hunter Hunted by Dylan Appelian and Megan Cross. It is a game about a monster and a hunter, a game of pursuit, determination, and what it truly means to be a monster. I threw you a couple games over the email. What was it about this one that really jumped out at you? What made this the game that you wanted to play today?
You know what it was? And I promise I'm not making this up, but it's that Super Dylan was like part of it. I was like, oh, well, anything Super Dylan touches is pure gold. And I was like, all right, sign me up. That was it. I was like,
not a bad approach at all.
I just did a play test of oh God, I can't remember the name of it. Oh God. Oh no, ADHD moment. It's happening live on your podcast. Century Sword Knights. That's the one.
Oh, sure.
Cosmic Century Knights. Sorry. But no, I just did a playtest of it, and it's so fun. It's so fun, and it's so cool. And the prompts are so rad. Like the character building part of it is so much fun. But I was like, I don't know. I just was like, there was just something about Huntered that I was like, let's do it. Let's make it happen.
I've played this game once. I've read it a couple times. One, I had the same reaction that you did when Dylan sent me this, where I was like, yeah, obviously, like this is my everything. Super Dylan and Megan are 2 of my favorite designers, 2 of my favorite people. So like seeing this game, it was the most slam dunk that I when it was first like announced and put on Kickstarter. I was like, this is the easiest dub in the world. I've played it once before. We ended up doing like a DC Comics fan fiction Green Lantern story of like a Green Lantern chasing a sentient black hole through like through the cosmos. Like I've spent so much time just sitting and thinking about that game session that like I'm like, I gotta come back to it. I gotta come back to this game. I gotta find an excuse to come back to this game because like it truly hooks me in such a profound way of like the play of it and the prompts of it all just hits, and I'm so fucking fired up.
Let's do it.
Let's
Let's go.
do it.
Also, my neighbor has chosen this precise moment to once again mow his lawn, which he does 4 times a week. Can you hear it in the background, or are we okay?
I cannot, and I will if it comes up on the mic, I'll be able to
Okay.
mute it in the background.
Okay. I have literally built my sound settings around my neighbor mowing his lawn because he does it so often and it's such an issue. So I was like, the noise cancellation should take care of it, but if it doesn't, let me know.
I'll let you know, but also will be able to kind of capture that and mute it on the back end.
Cool.
It wouldn't be podcasting if somebody didn't start yard work outside the second you hit record.
It's actually legally required.
I think it has to be. It's a universal constant.
Okay, what do we need to play this game?
So, what we need, each of us, we are going to need 2d6. We've got a little play space virtually in front of us, and we need to make a very crucial decision. One of us will play a hunter, and one of us will play a monster. Are you more drawn towards being a monster or a monster hunter?
I really want to be the monster, if that's okay.
I am so excited that I will put that choice in front of someone and they're like, I don't know, they're both great. It makes my life so much easier that you have a decisive choice that you made. I'm frankly stoked to be the monster hunter. What is it? Let me ask you, as we start to visualize this, like, you mentioned vampires, but like, what are the other monsters that are on your mind? Like, what are you bringing to the game? Where's your head at as we sit down to play?
It's funny that you asked that because I was really thinking about that in the car. I was like, what are immediate monsters that come to mind? I have been listening to gay werewolf crime novels. Pretty much I'm on like an audiobook kick, and I've been listening to stories about gay werewolves who solve crimes, and it's just the best thing ever. I love them so much. So I was like, werewolves, obviously front of mind. And then I was like, Frankenstein, like a Frankenstein vibe. And I was like, but that's like really on the nose. Do you know what I mean? Like that's really on the nose. And so I was like, okay, like what about like a Babadook sort of situation? Or like what about like a I don't know, just like the physical manifestation of was that one fucking movie? Crimson Peak, where it was like
Sure. Yeah.
the ghosts are a metaphor for the past. Do you guys get it? The ghosts are a metaphor for the past. And so I was like, maybe I'm like a metaphor. Maybe I'm like the ghost of Christmas past or something. I don't know. You know what I mean? I was like,
I mean,
yeah.
I say I have been on a Guillermo del Toro kick, but like I'm never not on a Guillermo del Toro kick. Like Hellboy and Hellboy the Golden Army are deeply formative movies for me in so many ways, but like that energy that I think he brings of like that exact thing where like the metaphor is there, it's not especially subtle, and it's gonna like inform everything. I'm very captivated by. I'm very excited to dig into, and I think the thing I want to like pull in and kind of like play around with as we start to think about our questions is like I think we're going to want a very specific time and place. I think that's the
Yeah.
that I'm like floating towards, and I think that's going to inform a lot of the answers that we're both bringing. What kind of setting genre are you really like vibing with at this moment?
Immediately my mind went like Gaslamp London because
I'm down with
like
this.
legally, but then I was like, what if it was now? Like, what does monster hunting look like when you have cell phones and AI and guns? You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
so I don't know. I'm really, I feel like I'm being very non-committal, but I'm every time the first answer that always comes to mind, I always go, what's the exact opposite of that? And what
Sure.
makes that interesting? Like, that's kind of part of my process. And so I don't know. What do you think?
Here's my cut down the middle answer. Is I immediately like take both of those answers, and you know, my brain immediately goes to Jeff Stormer, but what if both of them? And I think that the answer that I want to chase after is
It
my
takes
brain.
place at the Dickensian Christmas fair.
Oh god, that's really very funny. I was gonna
That's stupid.
it is, but stupid is real magical. But like my brain immediately goes towards and I'm holding Christmas in my heart because this might be set during Christmas, but like goes to like grindhouse punk is the aesthetic that I go to. Like
Okay.
modern
Okay.
day, but like a little bit of that gaslight, looming. I'm picturing looming streetlights. I'm picturing, foggy streets, and I bring that into the modern day. Where I land is uh a little bit like aesthetically dive bar, a little, that kind of punk show, graffiti on the wall, uh New York 80s neon light energy is sort of the aesthetic
Yeah.
that I'm really kind of hooking into at this moment.
Okay. Yeah. I'm writing down New York 80s neon energy.
I like that.
That's I like it.
I've been I think it's partially because like I've been falling back into comics lately, and my comic book beloved is like that Grant Morrison 80s DC kind of grindhouse aesthetic. So it's
Yeah.
a lot of vests, a lot of leather jackets, it's a lot of collars. Like that aesthetic really is holding true into my heart. And as I flip through my dice, as we discussed off mic, to find
Ah,
the perfect,
yes.
I do have these two. Let's see if I can find the second one. I have two dice that I found in like a treasure chest
Ooh.
at it must have been a Mag Fest. It was Mag Labs when they did that, when they did their creator focused event. They had like a take one, leave one treasure thing. I can only find one of them, but it's fine because as long as I have one. And I found a set of insane clown posse dice where the 6 is the Hatchet Man.
Okay. Okay.
It's the greatest it was the greatest find of my life. And like that's I'm grabbing that one because it feels good. It's black, it's red, it's got a Hatchet Man on the 6. This energy of, grimy punk show backyard wrestling kind of energy feels really, it's really hitting me in the heart.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Great. Okay. So we've got our aesthetic, we've got our kind of loose idea of like where we are when we are. And we've got a list of questions in front of us. I think what we'll do is we'll go back and forth, answer each of the questions in order. And then we'll have our characters and start to kind of pursue the hunt.
Okay.
I can go first. You are a mighty hunter. Who are you and what do you look like? I am, aesthetically speaking, I don't want to go teenage because I feel like I like older, and like older person at the punk show is like an immediately
Yeah.
captivating vibe because
Yeah.
you get this immediate kind of like caretaker uh bodyguard at the mosh pit
Yeah.
energy.
Unfuckwithable.
Yeah, unfuckwithable is exactly right. And I think it is that there is this this scene that has emerged around this like goth club, emo club, scene club, punk scene, all of these different communities kind of coming together. The other reference point I'm realizing is very deep in my brain because I watched it recently on the big screen is the Warriors. A lot of like
Sure. Yeah. Yeah.
a lot
Okay.
of brightly colored gangs with aesthetics.
Yeah.
uh all of these gangs are coming together, all of these like aesthetics and scene clubs are coming together, and it is the role of the elders to like look after the kids who don't know quite that they need to look after themselves yet. That's my energy. I am older, I am heavy set, I've got a thick beard, I vest, stained t-shirt, a stained t-shirt from a band from like a punk show tour, or from like a punk show years and years ago, that's something that I still wear even though it's seen better days. And that is, I think, and I am the guy on the edge of the mosh pit who will pull you out if it gets a little too heavy.
Yeah. Very nice.
Think on a name. I'll think on a name. He, his pronouns. But talk to us about our monster.
Once again, I'm just doing that like I think of the thing that is exactly on the nose. And I'm like, do I follow that thread? Do I go the immediate thing that jumps to mind? Is like, I picture, I haven't cut out, my brain just froze. I picture like a really tall, like almost too tall man,
Sure.
with like these like long kind of gangly limbs and like delicate hands,
Mhm.
delicate, with like slick back, uh white blonde, almost like Draco Malfoy parentheses fuck turfs hair, that kind of hits like just really sharply at his collarbone. And I don't know why, but like white alligator skin boots, question mark.
Mhm.
Um and a suit. And the suit is pristine. And I want to say white. It feels so on the nose. I don't know why. It just feels so on the nose. But I'm just gonna say that it's okay if I just pick the first thing that comes to my head and be confident about it. But yeah, like this pristine white suit with a really intricately tied tie, and it's one of those kind of like ostentatious 80s
Yeah.
business boy ties, and he has the business villain shirt. You know how in every business 80s business movie the bad guy always had the same shirt with like the
Oh,
white
yeah.
collar but the stripies.
Yep.
He's wearing one of those. He has rings on every finger and is sweaty, question mark, greasy, question mark, but yet still exceedingly kempt.
Sure.
And that's what the monster looks like.
Love this. Love this. Love this. There is a reason you have come to hunt here. What is driving you to pursue your quarry? Were you hired or charged by someone else? Hired or charged is very compelling, but I don't think that there's like a formal agreement. No, I think that's not entirely true. I think maybe I wasn't hired, but I was asked to come here and to investigate, to figure something out. Uh maybe maybe I want to immediately go with like something has happened. Someone's in danger. Maybe I think people around the scene have gone missing. Maybe even to throw it to 11. Uh Okay, yeah. An idea as I was talking, an idea popped into my head that I think really plugs in some electricity here. A local band has gone missing. They were scheduled to perform a show. They were scheduled to headline a show and they didn't show up. And they've been and they proceeded, at first it was seen as just they just didn't show up. Punk band flakes, not a particularly surprising development. Then their car turned up. Their van turned up, ruined. It ruined in one of these just outside of an industrial factory, gigantic overgrown fields, rusted and broken down as if it had been there for years upon years. It
Mm.
doesn't make sense. People are scared. Somebody somewhere may or may not have gotten hurt, and somebody somebody, whether it was a friend of the band or it was, whoever's been organizing these shows, or it was uh whoever's man, the one of the bar owners, like didn't ask me explicitly to go investigate and to find this and to figure out what happened, but like it was made clear that somebody had to. And my role in this community, especially at this point in my life, is if everyone is saying somebody needs to step up and do this and nobody has, then it's my goddamn job to step up and do this.
Point of order.
Yes.
So the van was found and it was like all rusty, but there was like was there stuff inside the van? Like, was there like no trace of them at all? Like what's like going on with like their equipment,
That's
like their music?
Such a great question. Great question that I had not considered. What is the more captivating option? I feel like it's the most captivating option if their stuff is also inside.
Okay.
If it is like, I think if the possibility that that this like shithead local punk band crashed their van, ditched it in a ditch and bailed, if that is completely stricken off the table by like one too many inexplicable details, that I think is the most captivating, because it creates this immediate picture of, oh, something for sure happened, but we have no picture of what it could be. So I think their stuff is inside perfectly, like almost perfectly untouched. Like the van looks like it has been through hell. The gear inside could run a show tomorrow.
Okay. What is the band known for?
The band
Do they have like a particular reputation?
Yeah, they do. I immediately float towards a punk rock version of like Fish's reputation of like they're gonna do like their shows. The idea of like an 8-hour like punk set exhausts me, but like the idea of like a punk show that feels like it never ends, like there's a
Okay.
magic in that I think like is very captivating. Of like the band, their reputation is that like when you're in the crowd, when you're there for the show, it feels like you're there for 6 days.
Okay. That's amazing, because that goes so well with what I was thinking about from the monster. So
Fuck yeah, fuck yeah, fuck yeah. So you have made this place your home. What brought you to this place, and why did you choose to stay?
um I think the place generalized is the city.
Mhm.
And I think it's a combination of things. I think it is easy, especially thinking about like New York in the 70s, 80s. What a
Mhm.
time. I wasn't alive, but it seems like it was a great time. Uh the city is a good place to disappear. The city is also a place where things are always happening.
Mhm.
And I think this monster is drawn towards that kind of life, that kind of, I have a few ideas cooking, but that kind of like it feeds, it needs to be around that kind of late night clubbing energy in order to like satiate itself. So the city, especially with like the punk scene, and there's always bands coming in and out, there's always flaky punks not
Mhm.
showing up when they're supposed to. It's really convenient for the monster to feed.
Love this. Love this a lot. Love this. I'm getting fired up. And I'm thinking about this question. You carry a signature weapon. What is it? Crowbar immediately jumped to brain, and I'm running with this that my signature weapon is just a big honking crowbar. What about it is more than it seems? Um, this crowbar has seen some shit. I think there is magic in this crowbar in like the idea, the phrase, this crowbar was passed down to me is so immediately captivating that I've got to run with it. Uh this crowbar has been present for things. This crowbar this crowbar has acted as security on so many shows across so many subgenres, across so many cliques, across so many clubs, uh that there is a sort of there's an aura to it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It is unclear if there's actual magic behind it, but there is certainly a uh when somebody breaks out Sweet Lucy, like it is clear that the situation has escalated. Like it is one of those, it's a crowbar with a name, and I think that says it all.
Yeah. It's your crowbar. I don't want to tell you how things are, but I envision it kind of like covered in band stickers.
Covered in band
But,
stickers is
like,
great.
a lot of the stickers are old, and so, like, a lot of the designs have, like, worn off, and so every so often, like, a really good one, like, gets added, but somebody, like, has actually written, like, Sweet Lucy in, like, techie Sharpie on, like,
Mm.
it's like a gun. It's got the, like, name on it, Winchester.
I I'm gonna take that and run with it. Because I think because there's a magical detail that I think fucks extremely hard. Of this crowbar, somebody wrote on it in like Sharpie ages ago, and it has been covered in generations of band stickers of bands that were great, bands that were terrible, bands that are still around, bands that flamed out and bands that flamed out in a week, and yet somehow that nameplate in Sharpie of Sweet Lucy bleeds to the surface no matter how many stickers you place over
Yeah.
it. Like, it never has to be rewritten, it never washes off. It just, for whatever reason, that name like comes to the surface no matter how many stickers you place on it, and no matter how many generations of stickers it has seen, that name is apparent.
That fucks so heavily.
You have heard the stories told about you. What do people say about you, and how much of these stories are true?
Oh. God, the ADHD galaxy brain is just real tonight. Like I just go, possibility, and I see 1,000 possibilities before me, and I'm like, just pick one. Um, they say that I am ageless.
Mhm.
They say that I existed before the world was formed, and as I watched man grow and change and become the humans that I now hunt, I shaped myself to them. I learned their ways. I assimilated into their culture, but there are parts of me that just simply do not fit and stand out. And so if you pay attention to the edges of a crowd or watch, the faces in the stadium, your eyes will always move back to my face because there's just something about it that is primordially wrong or different. Something like that.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, fuck yeah. Um, I love that so much, and as I was looking at my next question, it plays off of that so nicely. Of, you have heard stories of the monster you hunt. What do you know about your quarry, and do you believe everything you've heard about it? I think, and I think that the reason that we have begun in a hunt is, uh, I have heard that you were there. I have heard you were there at, uh, we'll call them the Shit Kicker 7, the band that has gone missing. The Shit Kicker 7, you were there at their last show. I heard you were actually there at every one of their shows. The more that I've asked about you, the more I have heard that you seem to be at every show. You seem to be at multiple shows at the same time, at the same time. You seem to be in different neighborhoods on the same night. You seem to be and this goes back, and the more stories I heard, the further back this seems to go. You seem to be ever present and inexplicable. You seem to be everywhere, always on the edges, always present, never noticeably so, but some detail about you, whether it is the suit, whether it is the boots, something about you signals at every show, going back, generations, and going back as far as there has been a scene in the city. It can't I think I am refusing, like, it is a I don't believe it's true, because I have to tell myself it's not true. The idea, which lends me the idea that this is a person that is furiously denying the status of the supernatural, which who boy, talk about catnip for me, is the person that's like, can't be real, can't be real. Got to be an explanation, as they carry a magical crowbar to stare down what is certainly undeniably real.
You're like, no magic here. Like,
Nothing.
as just like magic is actively happening.
Nope. Explanations. You have been hunted before. How did you survive, and why are you hunted?
I think I have always survived by being careful and by being selective. I think the sort of not nice, unfortunate part about being this monster is that for me to survive, others cannot. And so I know, based on the way that humans work, that there are places where outcasts and loners thrive and gather. And in those places are where I tend to do my hunting. And so I'm careful, I'm cautious, I am calculated. But I'm hunted because I consume humanity. And I mean that quite literally. If I am not consuming flesh, if I'm not consuming bones and teeth and viscera, I am consuming energy. I am consuming the sweat between two people dancing. I am consuming the vibes. I'm a vibe eater. That's what I am.
Vibe eater hits, real
Yeah,
hits.
vibe eater. It's sort of like a cool version of the energy vampire, I'm realizing. I was like, I just built the energy vampire from What We Do in the Shadows, but like in a fun, cool punk rock way. And I'm okay with that.
That's great. That's real good, is the thing. I'm very excited about this. And so with that, I am filling out a deck of cards. I'm just gonna we'll just
Can you do it in the thingy? Yeah.
I can, but I'm
That's so
realizing it's gonna
cool.
take some time. So I've got my collection of decks of cards, and I'll just draw. We'll do this manually.
Okay. You'll
So
be
now
the
we get
keeper of the deck.
Now we get into the hunt proper. And how this is going to work is that you and I are going to have a race. We are on even footing. Our token is in the middle of the hunt tracker. When it is time for the hunt to commence, we begin rolling 2 6-sided dice, aiming to roll doubles as quickly as possible before the other player. Once that has happened, we will draw a card, move our token 1 notch closer to the other person, and move towards 1 step closer to our final confrontation. I've got a deck of cards here that will also give us some card prompts to answer. I am shuffling it right now and taking a moment to appreciate the shuffling of the cards. And with that, I've got my 2 D6, and like I said, we are gonna roll these 2 D6 until one of us rolls doubles.
Okay.
Are you ready?
Oh God. Yeah, I guess.
All right.
All right, here we go. Ready?
Ready?
Nope. Oh, I swear I see. This feels like too convenient, but I really did just roll 2 5s.
Well, first off, holy shit, I also just rolled 2 5s,
No
but
way.
you did yours landed a millisecond before mine.
That's like creepy,
A
actually. I
little
don't like
creepy,
that.
a little weird, a little weird. So our token is gonna move one step closer towards the hunter, because you move it closer to the opposing player. And I'm gonna draw you a card to describe the current state of the prompt. Yours is a red card, so I'm gonna draw until I draw a red card. You have the 10 of diamonds.
Ooh.
Grappling with the hunter, you severely injure them. You watch them retreat into the distance to tend to their wounds. How does it feel watching their retreat? What a good first encounter. Fuck.
I feel nothing. There is a staunch ambivalence to this encounter because I've had 1,000 of them before. And the hunter, full of fear and verve and vigor, comes at me, and I quickly and easily dispatch them. And this time is no different. This sad old man with his metal crook comes at me, and my face doesn't even change. I look bored. I look disinterested. I look, detached while we're fighting. And then I sort of just saunter, stroll away.
Love this. And I think from my perspective, I think like that is maybe the moment that I get horrified, right? Like this was clearly a confrontation. From my perspective, this was clearly like not a pleasant conversation, or else I wouldn't have brought Sweet Lucy. But like there was clearly a sense that like I was just gonna confront a guy. And then you did this. You injured me in such a profound and did it so effortlessly. And I think the fact that you seem disinterested is maybe the part that has pushed this into a degree of obsession, right? Is the thing that has sort of driven this into like a terrified place of obsession. I'm, you know, I am visualizing uh I'm going broken arm, in part because that large like forearm cast is very juicy. The visual of the big hand cast is great. And like you snapped my arm like it was nothing, and it didn't even seem like you were like it was out of fear or anger or anything. And it's that piece of it that I think I'm latching on to more than anything. There had to be something beneath the surface for you to do this to my arm. There had to be something, but it's a blank. It's empty. It's blank space, and that's what's got me freaked out.
Cool.
Yeah, yeah. All right, back to our dice. Roll again until we get doubles.
Oh, I got a 1 and a 1.
I beat you by half of a second. I've got a pair of 3s in front of me.
Nice.
Which means we're back in the center. We're back on even footing. And I am drawing the Jack of Clubs.
Okay.
Carefully watching the monster, you have noticed a weakness it has, one it might not even be aware of. What is it, and how will you use that weakness against it? You are drawn towards vibe. You are drawn towards, like, this is not new information. You are drawn towards energy. You are drawn towards vibe. But there's something else running beneath the surface that I don't even know if you've picked up on. And I think I have picked up on this because I am a part of this community and a part of like this scene for as long as I've been. The Shit Kicker 7 fucking hated each other. I can't emphasize enough how bad the vibes were among this band. And in digging through the records of some of the other bands and some of the other like people that have disappeared and starting to maybe make this connection that maybe you're at the heart of more of this than just one band, you are attracted, like you are drawn towards not just a vibe, but like a messy vibe seems to especially draw you closer. That artist that their personal life is a train wreck, that person that is, you know, a musical genius but they're also a raging asshole, like something like it is something to there is something about the energy of confined chaos and imminent collapse that seems to jump out to you even further than just like a vibe period. Like there's something it and so there is a sense of, and this is such a funny way to such a funny way to monster hunt. I got to figure out which bands are on the verge of breaking up. I got to figure out which relationships are completely imploding. I got to get the worst of the drama fed directly to me because that's where I'm pretty sure you're going to show up next.
So I really enjoy then your whole strategy is just get involved in the scene drama. That sounds exhausting.
It doesn't feel great. There's no part about it that seems like promising or exciting. It's not good work.
Okay, are we rolling?
Yep. Yes, indeed.
Okay. Nope. Oh, 4 and a 4.
Go. Your card is the 6 of diamonds. The 6 of diamonds. The hunter's backed you into a corner, weapon drawn. In this moment of desperation, you discover an ability you never knew you had. How does it manifest and what is it?
Oh, man. Oh, man.
I guess the first big question is like, did my theory work?
Did your theory?
Like, did the theory about you are drawn towards messy bands?
Yeah. Yeah. I think that I don't want to say like negative energy, but intense energy.
Intense feels good.
Whether it be passion, whether it be hatred, whether it be that I'm picturing, you know, when you go, you know, all like 3 times that I've ever been to a club in my entire life, but like when you go and it's like hot and it's sweaty and everybody's like pressed together, but there's this kind of like energy,
yeah, for sure,
in the room. That kind of, I think that is what this creature is it's like pheromones for him.
Yeah.
And so so I think that this band in particular, he would have known about them, because if they're throwing like fish long concerts, then that's already like he's got a beat on them. But like the more that the band became this source of this like energy, the more that he started stalking them. Does that make sense?
Yeah. That feels great. That feels fantastic. Okay. Which means that I think our next confrontation like happens at, I'm going to lean into the positive of that intensity. Like there is like a singer who is fire incarnate, who is like an inferno on stage, and like she's played with like a few different bands, but the second that she steps out, like all of it, every like the room, like the lights dim and she is the center of the universe, and it is just raw, like an earthquake erupts in the building. And uh I've gotten all of these stories about like the absolute nonsense that unfolds like when people just get like swept away in this, right? And I'm like, if he's gonna show up, it's gonna be here. And I've got my eye, and sure enough, like we have this confrontation. I've got my eye on you. What do you do that you've never done before?
So I've been sitting here thinking about the fact that neither of us named our characters. And I think so. The prompt is the monster discovers an ability the monster didn't know the monster had. That's I'm reading that right. Okay.
Yep.
In this moment, they're at this concert. There's this siren. There's this woman who is just singing. And in the sort of like backstage where it's still super loud, the monster basically like manages to like pin you up against the wall, and he's got his forearm sort of across your like collarbone. He's like holding you to the wall, and you think that he's gonna like rip out your throat. You think that he's about to like do something like violence of the flesh. That's not I just made that phrase up, but like, you know, like that kind of thing. But instead, the monster whispers into your ear. You feel like cool, strangely cool breath on your neck and on your ear. And he says, "I will remember who you are." And in that moment, the monster takes your name. He takes all memory of who you are and who you were. Like, you know that you have a job, you know how to like human, but like if somebody were to ask you like, "Hey man, what's your name?" you would not know the answer.
Holy shit. There are so many things I thought that was headed towards, and that was not one of them. And my jaw is on the floor. Fuck yeah. Okay. Oh, the idea that like I'm gonna escalate this like to further the hunt, but also like drive home the drama. The only thing that I have left, the only like grasping stance or piece of the world that I have retained through sheer force of will and stubbornness and anger is the visual of that van crashed in that field. Uh all I have, like the only thing I was able to hold on to that wasn't like ripped out of my being was the hunt. I don't even know why I'm hunting now. It's just it's as much I got to figure out like what this van is and why I'm after it, but god damn it, do I remember this van, and god damn it, do I remember that you were there. Like that's all I got, and
Yeah.
now I'm chasing after that full speed.
Cool.
And with that, we're rolling some dice. That's double sixes immediately.
Oh, nice.
All right. Back on even footing. Back to the Queen of Spades. Oh, that's great. Do you want to read me the Queen of Spades question?
Oh, yeah. Spade. Hold on. I got to go to the spades page. Okay. Spades. Queen. Something in this area reveals one of the monster's weaknesses. What do you discover?
A piece of this hunger that I think reveals itself as a weakness.
Okay.
There's a piece of this hunger that I think like contextualizes as a weakness, that I think like a natural extension of like what this hunger is. Like there's something to consuming a vibe, consuming energy, consuming passion. And it's like those are there's a very humanness to them. There's like a context to them. There is an emotionality to them, but like to that emotionality there is like a sort of it's very contextualized. And I think part of that experience, part of understanding this monster's weakness is like realizing that like part of feeding must by its nature be understanding. Like there is like
Nice.
a reading of, you got to be able to read the vibe before you can consume the vibe. It is like you have to be able to understand the energy and understand the mess and the drama before you can consume it. And
Oh no, my arch nemesis, a polycule.
Yep, we got you. You're fucking done. Me and my 6 partners have got your ass.
My
Uh,
kryptonite, a poorly communicative polycule.
oh no. We've got a chore wheel that none of us want to fill out, and we're gonna get your ass. Um, I think the idea that like there is that like, and it kind of I think armors me a little bit in this idea of uh no, you gotta love a monster hunt making you just worse. Like I've just got to be even more guarded. Like I can't let anything out. I can't let anyone in. There cannot be a context to my actions that can be understood, because if I can move without context, I move in ways that almost you can't perceive.
Yeah.
All right. Let's roll some dice.
Okay. All right. 4 and 1. 2 and 5.
4 and
4
6.
and 2.
6 and 4.
6 and 3.
Come
4
on.
4 and 4.
All right. Back at
I
the
feel
upper
like we're
hand.
just gonna languish in the middle for all eternity.
Maybe. I mean, it's possible. It's real possible. All right. So your next card is the 3, also of diamonds. The 3 of diamonds. You know this area far better than the hunter. How do you take advantage of that?
I think for the purposes of storytelling, I'm going to say that much like the singer, the concert where I took your name, like this is a nightly hunt.
Mhm.
And so we're going to different venues. We're going to like the holes in the walls, we're going to like the larger venues, we're going to the converted movie theaters, you know, all of those good ones. I think what I know better than the hunter, is I know the backstage. I
Ooh,
know
yes.
the catwalks. I have been to these venues so many times, and I was there when they were built. I was there when they were constructed. I've watched them be converted, and oftentimes I slip among the construction workers. I slip among the techies and the stagehands. And so I'm so often able to slip away. You see me, you maybe even have me like cornered, impossible, like there's no way I could get out. And there's a door, or there's a, there's a trap door in the fancy, stages, there's whatever. And there's just always some sort of way that I fade into the shadows and I disappear. That is deeply frustrating.
Yeah, for sure. Always one step ahead. God, I love that a lot. That's great. All right.
All right, here we go. Nope.
That's Snake Eyes. We're back in the middle.
Ooh.
My card is the 3 of spades. The 3 of spades. It dawns on you that the monster is just toying with you, making you think that you are in control. What about their behavior betrays its deception? You know the backstage better than I do. You've had the upper hand in all of these situations. You have been able to one up me in every single capacity. So why haven't you done it? Like why you snapped my arm like a twig the first time we met, and it didn't even seem like it was you were particularly trying. And I have chased, and I have pursued, and I have cornered, and I have attacked. Why haven't you just finished the job? I think it is like, why is like this is a hunt, and it's, and like the thought in my mind, you've my entire sense of self is this hunt and this chase. And increasingly I'm asking the question of like why this is a chase. Like if you are constantly one-upping me, why haven't we ended things yet? Like that's where I'm like, I think that it's that I keep almost like getting you And I started to piece together, like, this is too many close calls. There's too many close calls here. Something feels amiss.
That's cool. That's cool.
Oh, this is good. The energy is real good. I'm rolling some dice here.
Oh shit, I forgot to roll dice. I was like, yeah. Nope. Nope.
That's double fives. I finally have the upper hand for the first
I
time.
just got doubles right after you said it.
We've got now the 9 of spades. You catch a look of fear in the monster's eyes for the first time. What strength of yours did you reveal that the monster had underestimated? I'm pulling on that answer that I gave earlier. Moving without context. Moving without like without purpose, without reason. I think it is I think that it is of all of the places you have been, I think it's got to be that I've gone on the attack in a place where we were not meant to cross paths. Like, maybe it is if sticking with the show theme and also upping the sort of supernatural elements of this monster, like, I come at you at a honky tonk. Like line dance night at a honky tonk. Suddenly there is this old like punk bastard with an arm cast and a crowbar pushing past line dancers and like coming at you in a circumstance where, like, you had assumed there's no chance of me walking in, and there's like a certain degree of, you knew the environment to expect, and this is not it. And for a moment, I've got the upper hand, but you still slip away. But like, it is clear that this fight is no longer happening on our shared territory.
I love it. Also, I come at you at a honky tonk is the funniest sentence that I have ever had said to me. I would like to say that.
It's real goddamn funny.
Are we rolling?
Yes, indeed.
Cool, because I just rolled 2 twos.
Let's go. All right. Next card.
What happens if we go back and forth for an entire deck of cards?
At a certain point, will just declare that it is sudden death and that the next person takes it, or I might even I've got a pitch in mind. If we go 3 more rounds without reaching it, I've got a pitch in mind.
I mean, I will sit here and play this with you all night. I just know that you probably don't want a 17-hour podcast. So
I because there's a real juicy angle to, like, the die is stuck in the middle for a very, very long time.
I like it from like a world building standpoint. Like, yeah. I recognize that it could be like really fun to just be like, ha 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 ha, and then you win. But something about like just like being in I feel like we're like, you get to know a little bit more, and that's exciting.
That's kind of where my brain is at. If one of us has not won in like 3 rounds, I have a scene prompt I'd like to set up that I think will land the plane in a very satisfying fashion.
Okay. I'm so ready for this.
The question for you is that there is a spark of familiarity in this hunter, something that reminds you of the very first who came for you. What about your first hunter do you see in this one?
The shitty joke I want to make is like, it's the beard. I think. Okay. This one, go with me on this journey.
I'm walking with you.
When men first gathered around fires, I watched them from the shadows, and I fed off of their excitement and their joy at the warmth. But I was never invited to their fire. But there was one human at the beginning who welcomed me to his fire. And he, like you, did not have a name. But as I happened on him. We'll say he was, I don't know, in his 30s as he got older and the winters got harder to manage. He turned on me. He thought I was a god, an entity of the earth, something other than what I was. And in desperation, in hope to save himself, he turned on me. And that betrayal of the first man who welcomed me has stuck with me. And there's something about you having no name, having this tenacity, having this unstoppable but ununderstandable drive for me. There's just something about that I conflate, and I feel this under the ambivalence, under the boredom, under the nonchalance of my violence. I feel this visceral rage, this visceral anger at always having to be on the outside.
I really like that. That's great. And I also, I mean, I'm gonna take your silly answer from the beginning, but also, and then turn it into beauty, because there's something really great about, like, it's the beard. There's a great element of visualizing this crowd of people around a fire, visualizing, like, the winter is deadly and harsh, and uh these early humans have gathered around a fire in time immaterial. And even then, if we look at this, we see this group of early humans in time immaterial gathered around a fire, and we can see in the corner, flickering, just barely avoiding being completely shrouded by shadows, only visible through the slightest flicker of light, there is someone sitting slightly further away. There is someone sitting against the shadow. There is someone
Yeah.
sitting. There is, and we see this early person. They have a beard. They are older. They are heavier. Like, they look like an elder member of this group, of this community, of this gathered circle of people, and they are sitting, watching, ensuring that everyone is safe, and, like, that
Yeah. Oh, that
energy.
fucks so hard. That fucks so hard.
That's I was so excited when you said it, and then, like, I kept thinking about it. I was like, I need to put this out there of, like, this is an energy that has persisted. This role in the circle has persisted, and there is something about it that echoes through history, and that fucks.
So, so fun fact about me is that I'm secretly a burner. I don't go to Burning Man, but I go to like my like local burn here in Georgia. And like that's like there's like so many dudes like that. Like there's just like the dude who's just been there for 1,000 years and he's got some weird name like Pockets or like I don't know, Chair, whatever.
Mhm.
Like he's just got some like random ass name and he's just like always like big huge beard, just built little Viking looking man, and that's the dude. That's the dude you want to find if you're in trouble or
Mhm.
somebody's hassling you, because like those guys, time immemorium, they will keep you safe.
I cannot tell you. The energy is the same at all of the, and I say this, the adjective I use here, I use with only the most affection. All of the shitty wrestling shows I have been to in my life, the energy is the same. Of, like, there is a guy with a beard that, if you are like, his name is Swampy, and if you find Swampy, like, he's got your back.
I
If you're there for the
I'm
first time, he's giving you a hug and, like, telling you the rest, like, you look at, like, Swampy's looking out for you.
I'm so serious when I say I met one of those men today. I've started going not hiking, but like, like little like wilderness paths in the park. And there's this dude. I don't know his name. He's nameless, but like he stopped and passed me like 3 times. The most like trustworthy vibes. Just had like something positive to say every single time. Like I was like, those dudes. They're just trustworthy fellas.
It did. Dudes rock. I am with this conversation. I am pulling the ace up my sleeve and setting the scene for our like final interaction
Okay.
based like on that prompt and that answer and that everything.
Okay.
Uh I want to see. I want to leave this lingering and leave the hunt ongoing, but I want to see maybe the moment, and maybe we talk about what this is and what this looks like. There is a moment that we share that like complicates our like hunter hunted relationship. And that is like the cliffhanger moment that I want to end on. Like, where are
Oh
we? What does that
man.
moment feel like? Like, what's the energy when this dynamic between us changes?
I Oh man, I have an immediate pitch.
Hit me, hit me.
It might be a little on the nose, but I think we're at like a burn. We're at one of those like sprawling music festivals, people camping out, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And I think I'm picturing you, and you are maybe by yourself, and you're sitting around your little camp stove, your little burner sanctioned fire, um and the music festival is like going on in the background, and it's in the distance, but you're kind of at that point where you're like, I have to sleep, I can hunt tomorrow. And I approach you, and there is how cliffhanger can I make it? Can I cliffhanger your cliffhanger?
Cliffhanger, good, dangle off of the cliff.
Okay. Oh my god, this is so dumb. Oh my god, help. Okay. So I you see me kind of like come out of the shadows, and I'm standing right in front of you. Like you could jump up, you could take me. But my hands are kind of reached out toward you in like a placating, almost like requesting help gesture. And you see that my white suit is slowly turning red from this like claw, like this set of claw marks that has ripped down my chest. My suit is torn, my shirt is open, and you see this sort of like very pale skin just blossoming with blood. And I look at you and I say, I need your help. Cliffhanger.
I'm gonna throw even more gasoline on this fire
Ooh,
because I
let's
think
do it.
there's
Let's do it.
because I was thinking about like all of the questions, the answers to the last question, and like that moment especially, like there's such a good escalation here of like when like you saying I need your help, immediately there is a scream from somewhere else at the
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
burn,
Yep.
and like I don't remember who I am. I remember nothing but hating you and wanting to hunt you, but there's something. There is something about myself that I remember at that moment when somebody yells in the distance with like a genuine fear and like a genuine endangerment.
Yeah.
And like I have lost everything. But in that moment, I remember something. I
Yeah.
remember the first other piece of myself that I have remembered in this entire hunt since you
That's
stole
so
my
good.
name.
That's so
And I stand up, like, without hesitation, I stand up and I grab Sweet Lucy and, like, look at you and have a moment of, "Let's go. We got work to do."
good. Also, can we say uh to close, like, cinematically, if this was a movie, just we set up part two is like the camera sort of like pulls out like drone shots, so it's like really high above the campground. You start seeing campfires go out
Yeah.
like in a like very specific path towards our fire.
Yes. Great. Good. And that's game.
I feel good about that. I feel good about that.
I feel real good about that. That's I was like, we were going back and forth in the middle. I was like, what's the ending where we don't actually resolve this? And I was like, it's got to be the moment that like something changes. This was a joy. This was a blast. What was your favorite moment from play?
Oh God. I don't know. I just get to hang out with you. That's a non-answer, but I've been like looking forward to this for like a couple of weeks now. So it's like, yeah, sometimes it's like, I don't know. I get really in my head about stuff like this because it's like, I always want to make the best choice. Do you know what I mean? Like I want to win. I want to win choosing. And so sometimes I feel like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm just going to pick the most like obvious fucking thing that comes to my mind and just be okay with that without like putting a bunch of judgment on it. And so like, yeah, coming to you at the end being like, I need your help. Like, yeah, maybe that's a little tropey. Maybe it's a little goofy Gus, but like felt good, felt fine, you know?
It felt good. And it was such a natural like escalation of the last few questions of like us realizing that there is this unspoken shared history that like stretches back and like the growth there is so nice.
Because it just the questions now, like what happened? What has the capacity to hurt him? Why do I need your help, random human? Like, am I gonna give you back your name? Like,
great. This was magnificent. I'm beaming. Thank you so much for this.
Thanks for having me.
Of course. Real quick before we wrap up, where can people find you and your work online?
Oh gosh. I am Cate Osborn. I am Catieosaurus wherever there's a Catieosaurus without a number at the end to be had. If it's got a number on the end, it's not me. Thanks, Meta. You can pre-order my book if you want. You can go to catieosaurus.com if you want. You can listen to my podcast. Sorry I missed this if you want. And yeah, just check me out on my socials for all of the stuff that I'm doing because I do a lot of cool stuff.
Hell yeah. This was wonderful. I'm absolutely over the moon. Thank you so much for this. And for now, I'm going to throw it over to me in the future so that he can wrap up with the show. Take it, future me. Thanks, past me. And thanks again to Cate for coming on the show. That was special. That was really, really magical. That hit everything that I wanted from that game. Like that, the way that the story evolved, the big twists that we threw in, where we ended. I'm so happy with all of it. That was a magnificent experience. Thank you so much. Be sure to pick up your own copy of Hunter Hunted at meganlynnftw.itch.io. Be sure to head to catieosaurus.com to check out everything that Cate's got going on. And be sure to follow her on social media at Catieosaurus. You can also find us on pretty much whichever social media you prefer at Party of One Pod or Jeff Stormer, depending. And if you enjoy the show and you want to support it, there's a lot of different ways you can do that. Subscribe to our newsletter at buttondown.email/partyofonepodcast and join our Discord community at bit.ly/partyofonediscord. You can support us financially at patreon.com/JeffStormer or Ko-fi.com/JeffStormer. You can give us a nice iTunes review, shout us out to a friend, give us some love on social media. You can buy some Party of One merch at bit.ly/partyofonemerch. Or if you're looking for more great podcast content, you can check out All My Fantasy Children, which is a character creation, storytelling, and world building podcast that I make with my best friend in the world, Aaron Catieosaurus. We take a listener submitted prompt and spin it into an original fantasy character, populating a shared universe one story at a time. You can also check out Yazeba's Bed and Breakfast, which is an actual play about a heartless witch, a cozy house, and the many people making their homes inside. Both of those you can find wherever you get your podcasts. Party of One is, as always, produced and edited by Jeff Stormer and Jen Frank. Music for the show comes from the song Infinite Lives by Mega Ran featuring the D&D Sluggers, and the Party of One logo is by Evan Rowland. If you'd like to inquire about advertising rates, coming on the show as a guest, or about press coverage of the show, you can email me at partyofonepodcast@gmail.com. And unless I am mistaken, that is all we do here. So until next time, thank you so much for listening. Remember to fight the forces of fascism every single day. Remember that self-love and self-care are radical and defiant acts of resistance. And as always, party on, everybody.